Hey fellow meta fighters, Laggimus Prime here once again, and today we are going to learn about phases. Now, to note, there are only 4 phases in Card Robattle RB. The draw phase, standby phase, action phase, and end phase. But instead of sitting here talking with you about it and showing you just a bunch of words, I am going to actually play a little game here for you just so you can see exactly what is happening and how it all unfolds. So let's go ahead and check it out. So let's go ahead and get to learning about phases in Card Robattle RB. So, in the very beginning of most TCGs, you have a draw phase. And in here, it's not very different. You draw a whole hand, and then you get to mulligan. Now, mulligan works a little different in Card Robattle RB. Usually in most TCGs, you'll put the whole entire card, or the whole entire hand back into the deck, and then you get a whole new hand. And usually you can do it maybe once, but some games will let you do it multiple times, but there's usually a downside. In Card Robattle RB, you get one mulligan, but it's different. You actually get to choose the amount of cards you want to put back. So, say I don't want this Assault Tyranno, I don't want 2 Parms in my hand. I can take 2, or I can take 4, I could take my whole hand, or I could only return 1 if I wanted to. But let's just go ahead and take 2 cards and put them back into the deck. And then we draw the same amount. Now, on your first turn, it changes once you get to the next turn. But in here, since I'm the first player, I'll only get to do this, and then it skips 2 phases and goes straight to my end phase. First player doesn't really get to do very much on their turn. You'll see here in just a second. So it doesn't really skip your whole entire phase and make you go to the end phase. You're actually in a next phase called the standby phase, where you can play meta fighters, you can play Medabots, you can also swap out your leader parts. So let's go ahead and place a couple of Medabots. Let's place Parms here, and then let's just go ahead and place Attack or Assault Tyranno. I can't remember which ones they are. But that's all that we can really do. Now, I could, if I wanted to on my turn, swap out any time with another Medabot. But I don't want to do that right now because this is my first turn. I'm just kind of placing something. So let's go ahead and end turn, and our opponent will go ahead and play on their turn. Now, when you're going second, you actually get to do a lot more. You'll be able to attack, activate abilities, rapidly cool your stuff. But unfortunately, since we're going first in the demo, or in the practice edition, we can't do that. And as a side note, if you lose 1 barrier, you actually get an energy. Usually, you only get an energy at the very start of your next turn. And we'll see that happen in just a second. Now it is our second turn, and our energy increased. So, now we are at the draw phase again. Now, during the new draw phase, instead of drawing 1 card like in most TCGs, we actually get to draw our whole hand, but we also get to do this. Say there's a card in here that I really need to find a new card. Something like this card won't really benefit me at all in the slightest. You can actually discard cards from your hand that you don't want to get more cards. So if I wanted to, I could take this tactical card, discard it, and then I'll draw a whole new hand. Or not a whole new hand, but at least I'll draw until I get to full. But I kind of want to keep this card, so we won't discard anything today. Draw all the way up to full instead of drawing just 1 card. Now we go into standby phase. Now, during standby phase, you can only do a select few things, pretty much almost like the end phase. But a couple of new things activate here. So, we can play a meta fighter card if we wanted to. But I'm not going to activate that just yet. And you can only play 1 meta fighter per turn. If I wanted to, I could place out another Medabot, which I think I will do. Let's go ahead and place out Peppercat. He has a very, very nice ability that will prevent abilities from being activated with her shock status effect. Now, another thing that we can do is actually replace or swap out arm parts if we wanted to. So if I wanted to, I could take this right arm and replace it with this. And I could do it again if I wanted to. I could repeatedly do this over and over again, but honestly, there's no point. But I can also change out the left arm, the right arm. If an arm gets destroyed, you can... This is the only time that you can do it, too, during the standby phase. You're not going to be able to do it in the action phase or end phase, so make sure to remember that you can do this on this part of the turn, during the standby phase. So, this is pretty much all I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to the action phase. Now, during the action phase, this is where you can actually attack. In any order you want to, you can pay energy to attack or cross attack. You can pay energy to activate an ability of a Medabot. You can play a tactical card, or you can play another Metafighter. Let's go ahead and try this tactical card right here, and let's see what kind of status effect we can inflict on Navi-Commune. We hit it with Bind. Not exactly the greatest one, but it prevents rapidly cooling, but usually Navi-Commune, that's like the worst one you can give her. She doesn't really rapidly cool, especially when she activates abilities. But I do want to use Pepper Cat, so let's go ahead and rapidly cool it. So in order to rapidly cool, we discard 3 cards from our hand. So we'll get rid of Pepper Cat, this guy I can't remember, and then Henry. Now Pepper Cat is rapidly cooled and is able to attack this turn. So I'm going to actually attack with Rokusho first, because Rokusho's arm has a really special effect. If Rokusho attacks alone and hits the leader, and it gets rid of a barrier or part, then the opponent has to get rid of another barrier. So let's go ahead and take a look at it in action. Bam. Voila. Now, I have a choice here. You see, I only have 7 energy, so I can only attack with one other Medabot. I could hit really hard with this, but Pepper Cat also has another keyword effect. That Berserk, I think it's a Berserk ability. I can't remember. But either way, what happens is if Pepper Cat attacks, it will gain 2,000 power and then lose that 2,000 power after the attack. So this will actually let us attack Navi-Commune and be able to apply that status effect. So let's go ahead and do that. That's great. Now we have applied the shocked status effect. What the shock status effect does is it will prevent Navi-Commune from activating any abilities on her turn, even the arm parts. But I only have 3 energy left and not very much else I can do. So I'm going to go to the end phase. During the end phase, if I have 6 cards or more in my hand, I would have to discard until I only have 5. And the only other thing I can do on this turn is to play a support Medabot again, but I really don't want to, so let's go ahead and end turn. And as you can see already, we're at a very significant advantage. Our opponent has 0 barrier, only 2 arms left, and it can't use any abilities. And I don't really want to get rid of this card because it is my draw phase again. So, alright, now it's back to my standby phase. And if I want to win right here, I just need to hit 3 times. So, what I'm going to do is I want to play some low cost cards. Play you. And then we'll play, let's see. Play you. Now I could also change out my arms if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So we might not be able to win this turn, but we can still at least do some damage. Plus I have some tactical cards that I could play if I wanted to. Now that I think about it, I might actually be able to win here. So let's go ahead and try this out. We will rapidly cool Pepper Cat. Now I will cross attack. I select Rokusho, Pepper Cat, I need 10 energy to do it, and the max damage that I will do is 10,200. So let's go ahead and cross attack. We got rid of both parts. Now, there's a couple of ways you can win here. You can attack, you could use your Metaforce, or you could also use your tactical card. So tactical cards can actually get you a win here. So, let's go ahead and show you. Need 2 tactical stock, activate it, hit it for 5,000, and that is a win. Well, I hope that little demonstration there was good enough, or at least informative enough, to show you how phases work. Now, I might have maybe skipped over a few things here or there, or I might have forgot something, and if I did, I do apologize. I know I completely forgot to talk about Rokusho's effect, or what the tactical card did, but pretty much Rokusho's effect was the same as Pepper Cat's. It's actually the Reckless ability. Whenever you attack, you gain 2,000 power, and then when the attack is over, you lose that 2,000 power. And as for the tactical card, all it did was deal 5,000 damage to a Medabot, which was great because whenever we got rid of the parts from that cross attack, we were able to use the tactical card to hit for 5,000 against the leader and get the win, as you saw. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Let me know. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Like I said, this is my first time doing these kind of videos, so I'm definitely not going to be all that great at it. But hopefully it is an informative video and you gain a little bit of knowledge about how to play. But that's all I got for you. Join me in my next video where I'm going to be talking about all the keywords, all of the status effects, everything like that, so you'll know what all cards will do without having to look up some kind of guide. But I still have my spreadsheet in the description below if you want to check that out. But I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you later.